Yo, hey, back with another episode. You know what it is. Legend Lounge Podcast. Bringing you the latest in crypto, blockchain, and all those good things.
Like, that sounded smooth, Jay.
Yeah, man, you gotta, improv. What was they say? The improv. But man, we're gonna start out kind of like how we usually do. Looking at the Bitcoin chart. So go ahead and pull it up. All right, so um let's just say in the last week, so let's go to the weekly chart here. In the last week, past week, we've seen a crazy spike. Um, so let's just say last week, we seen some downside. Just maybe I'll just remove all of this stuff. We still really in a range on the weekly. Last week we seen some downside. Uh, Bitcoin dropped about, let's see, we seen like an 11% drop. No, actually, it's more than 11%. We seen about a 13% drop, right, was inside this weekly range. Um, then we regained some traction in the past week. So in the past week, it's up about 19%. Um, the last time we had the podcast, Charles was talking about this head and shoulders, which was kind of like an indication that we might be headed down. But right here, we started to break right here. So this was the head and shoulders pattern. That would have been a shoulder. That would have been a head. That would have been another shoulder. But we started like breaking multiple structures. Like we broke here at broke here at 99, which is basically 100. I was just gonna say 100,000, right? 99, 5, 100. Then we broke again right about 102, and currently we're sitting at about 103, close to 104. All time high is about 108. So um, with the inauguration coming up, we might see a break at 108 and then a pull back to 108 and we go further. But that has yet to be seen. We're just gonna see how this plays out. Um, and yeah, so I think we're gonna see more upside in the coming weeks if we keep on breaking structure.
Yeah, I think as long as it stays above I think as long as it stays above 102, that's basically gonna be the indicator on short term if we keep going up or we go back into consolidation. Because if you look when you go back to like if you go to like the 8 hour structure, or even any short term structure shorter than like the 1 day, basically right now, Bitcoin just made a higher high. Um, so you feel me? You still need like another confirmation higher high to really say it's been like a trend reversal. But it made a higher high. So well, really two, if you want to really look at it, it's to make two higher highs. So could be a trend reversal. It's still kind of in that zone, but like you just mentioned with the inauguration, with all the stuff that's kind of floating around in terms of the rumors of Trump coming in and like doing some executive orders around crypto and crypto policy. Um, you could see it break up. I don't, but anyways, that 102 mark though, I think as long as it stays above that, which is the previous higher high, I think we'll be in a good spot short term for Bitcoin to keep going up.
Yeah, it's finding support definitely at that 102 right now. But that's just that this break right here, like you said, break up that 102, and now we're kind of playing around and bouncing off of it, creating support. So we'll see.
What the RSI showing?
Um, I can pull the RSI up.
I feel like it should be kind of. I feel like it shouldn't be too crazy right now, man, because we haven't really seen too much. I mean,
I mean, it depends on what time frame you want me to be looking at. So
Let's
here
do
is a 4 hour time frame. It's showing kind of like
yeah. Let's look at that for the.
oversold.
What's it look like for the day and the week? Well, that's
Let's
not
let's
over.
let's go to the weekly, right? So for the weekly, it's looking like it's oversold. So we could see some potential downside, and we still have this. Well, this is on the weekly, right? We still consolidating because usually when markets consolidate, they're building up orders to either take it higher or take it lower. So once we get a break out of this box, then we'll kind of know where we could possibly be headed. The bottom of this box is actually around 88, 89, and obviously the top is at the all-time high 108. So let's go to the daily. Yeah. So at the bottom of this range, it's about 89. But as far as the RSI, it's kind of high on the daily. It's very high on the weekly. So if anybody don't know what the RSI is, just an indicator. It's the relative strength index. It kind of gives an indication that been so much buying that selling pressure, if it's oversold, selling pressure could be coming in, or like if it's here at the bottom, then buying pressure could be coming in because it's just been going up so high or so low. Or in this case on the weekly, it's been going up so high that we could see some selling pressure come down, and it could break this range. But that has yet to be seen. So we're still in this range. We're just gonna wait for this breakout, really. So
Yeah, I think with tomorrow's news, depending on what he says, we may have a dip down to the downside before it rips up because what he just pulled basically is just kind of overthrew and leapfrogged a bunch of tokens within 48 hours. And now we're seeing a pullback, and we'll discuss that in a little bit, but for the most part, we're seeing a pullback on that little stunt that he pulled.
right.
So I think that the liquidity for the most part of that is going to start leaving out only to come back in come Tuesday or Wednesday with Wall Street. So
I was gonna say like another indication that kind of like a confluence I use when I'm trading. If you know how to read candles, I suggest anybody that wants to know how to like get into the market, or like what the market may do. Learn how to read candles. But this candle right here on the weekly is what you call a bullish engulfing, which is this body. So you have wicks on the bottom and wicks on the top. In the middle is the body. The body is actually engulfing about one. It's actually really just engulfing this one candle. So it's just kind of up in the air where what it might do because we're still in this range. But it is engulfing this last week's candle, and it's about an hour before this weekly candle closes. So that's kind of giving an indication that it could continue to go up. Usually when I see these engulfing candles, it usually is a drop. Let's say it's a bullish engulfing candle. It's usually a drop to like the 50% of that candle. So that's like right around 98. So maybe tomorrow we could see a drop back to around 98, or this week back to around 98 before pushing back up So that's just something to look at. Yep. That's what I got for Bitcoin chart, folks.
Dang. Man. So I guess a lot has happened, especially with the president kind of pulling a rabbit out his ass. With this Trump coin that everybody's talking about, because now the group chat is popping, and a lot of people I know outside of the group chat is feeling like they missed out. But I just say the way that, god damn, this big ass wick. The way
Actually
that
looking
this
at the Trump coin.
yeah.
Yeah, it did throw a big wick. It definitely did.
Let me see. Shut my screen right quick.
Got you on a deck screener.
Yeah. Hold on. All right, there we go. Yeah, like, bro, if this is this ain't right. This don't even.
It's crazy.
Fundamentals thrown out the window, bro. It's not even following a traditional meme token, tokenomics fundamentals, whatever the hell you want to call it, bro. Like, and that's on a weekly, right? Like, bro, nah, that's artificial pump.
Nah,
This is
definitely.
it does not get no artificial than that. That's yeah, bro. So for those, yeah.
You said this is on the weekly, right?
Oh, well, I'm on a daily now, but yeah, this the weekly.
Daily, okay. That's
Yeah,
okay.
bro. Like,
It's been I did not know the token's been around that long.
that's why I say it's an inside. It was an inside job, bro. Because typically, what happens, especially on Solana, with meme coins, is once people get a whiff that a token is finna fly, this token wouldn't. Let me go to the market cap.
Bro, that's almost a year.
Right.
If that's the weekly, that's almost a year, bro.
Right. So it was in the making for the longest. Let me pull it up on what you call it. Deck screener. Give me a second. Share this again. Alright, so this on deck screener. Bruh. Now on deck screener, it ain't gonna show you all the data, obviously, when it comes to how long this token been out. But it will show you the market cap. So this right here basically shot up, hit about 15 billion, and now it's heading back down. It's like 8.5 billion. Typically, what happens with meme coins is when people will start buying it around here, it would have hit. It wouldn't even got to a billion. It released around. Let me see, 67 million. When he announced it, when it launched around, I know it launched around 3 billion already, and then it shot up here. Like, no, bro. Solana meme coin traders, they're going to cheat it, and basically what that means for those out there is they weren't gonna let this token get this high. They was gonna snatch their money off the table because it's easy money. It's extra liquidity. So they was gonna buy way down here, and by the time it hit 1 billion, we would have seen another wick. It would have came back down to maybe 900 million or so, and then spiked back up towards the announcement and hit these numbers, and then it would have played out like this where it's tanking because people are pulling profits. But you got somebody who took $800 and made $300,000, bro. Like, no, it it's like this was an inside job, artificial, old money, and then he has like 80% of the token supply that's going to be released in phases.
What time frame you looking at right there now?
This is the 1 hour.
Okay, yeah, I'm over here looking at the 1 hour as well.
Like, this is not even a traditional meme coin play. And then for him to take the top in what I think he want to be in the top 15 in a matter of 2 days. It
Yeah,
has no
it's
utility. It has nothing. It just jumped the line because he got bread, and his son then pumped this coin.
all right.
How many people then bought this coin at $67 and 80? And what it went up to? Was 67. I know people was talking about buying in, and it peaked around 75.
Yeah, that definitely was inside, man. I'm looking at this article and it's saying they had that crypto ball
Uh-huh.
supposedly like the night before it supposedly dropped. Say inside the first crypto ball, Snoop, the Treasury Secretary, and $70 billion meme coin surprise from Trump. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people got wind of this coin that was in the inside group even before that night, and then some people might have even got it that night because I know a lot of people in the crypto space, especially some people like in my job. It was like, man, you know, who was it? It was on Rumble, one of those new social media sites. Andrew
Yeah.
Tate. He was like a 1 o'clock in the morning. He was telling people to get inside this coin. So somebody knew something. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, like now a lot of people just becoming exit liquidity. It
Right.
has yet to be seen really what's going to really happen with this coin. Hey, hopefully people made some money though.
Yeah,
But
no,
this is a meme coin. It's just
that's
got to
the
be careful. It's risky.
that's definitely what I was about to say, man. I mean, just because honestly, what could end up happening though, um, because the whole thing is, bro, like he can't rug pull. I mean, he actually like he can, but he can't, right?
Right. Right.
like he's not gonna be able to rug pull. So like realistically speaking, it may not be a bad investment. It's not. I'm not putting my money in it, but like it may not end up being a bad investment because of the simple fact of he can't rug it. Like if he rugs it, then I mean, brother, you're the president. You can't rug it. Like it won't work. You
Nah,
can't do
yeah, that
that.
makes a lot of sense.
And if he owns 80%, if he does own 80%, and that's scheduled to release, in different tiers and blah blah blah, like I mean, he has the highest level of visibility and accountability almost out of any crypto ever. Now my biggest problem with this is the fact is what people don't realize of what I think is gonna like how it's gonna adversely affect like crypto is it's taking away money from decentralized tokens, which is what crypto is really all about in the first place, and having people invest their money into a centralized token, which is what his token is. It totally defeats everything that crypto
Right.
is all about and what crypto stands for in the first place. So that's kind of what I think this token could end up being like what we all kind of know crypto as to be. This could kind of be like the start of that starting to change, of people shifting more towards centralized tokens, versus the decentralization of everything. So anyways, But like, I mean, I don't know, man. Y'all know I don't really mess with the memes or or that type of stuff in general. But if you got a little, you got a little extra money. I mean, it may not hurt to throw it into that token because ultimately he can't rug it. But you know, who really knows? Who really knows what's gonna happen with the token? Who really knows if that's real trading? Who really knows if that's bot trading? It's just too early to tell or kind of call it right now.
I agree. I definitely agree. I put $4 in there, so we're gonna see. As good as it's gonna get from me. But what's crazy was my nephew hit me up and it's like, man, did you get in on the Trump talk? I said, nah, what you talking about? And then he showed me whatever. He's like, yeah, man, I seen it at $6, but I didn't buy it because I thought it hit the top. I'm like, so you basically didn't get in. He's like, nah. And now, I mean, it's at $40 now, but getting in at $6 and it hit 75. I mean, that's a nice little quick hit. But I say all that to say this, mainly for a lot of people who feel like they're missing out. This is a prime example of FOMO. So don't fall for the hype. Despite what you see on social media, like this token has no utility yet. So if you're gonna put something in there, like Brandon said, I mean, be mindful of it, but don't go and put your rent money in this because it's Trump. It didn't matter if Biden had a token, like it's still a meme coin and it doesn't really solve a problem yet. And for the most part, like I said, if you want to see a nice return, then the same traditional investing principles still take precedent in this crypto market. You just get your returns a lot faster than the traditional stock market. And that only also depends on how long you've been invested in the market in the first place. But the principles and the foundation still applies to investing when it comes to crypto. You're just going to see your return a lot faster. And that's what people are getting towards, because all this is doing is gearing people up, especially with Gary Gensler leaving out, which is the irony of it. You know what I'm saying? So you can't crack down on the president and he released it right after this man left. So it's no irony, man. I think this token is going back down. Can it go back up? Absolutely. Anything is possible in crypto, but I wouldn't put my rent money on this one. And if you feel like you missed out, then, you know what I'm saying, you put something in there, but understand that you may risk losing it all. Because I'm sure somebody bought the top at $75 and they looking hurt right now because now they shit at $40. That's a big dip within a 24-hour time frame, which is going to shake a lot of people out, which is designed to do. So unless you big bank Hank, hey, catch the next wave. And even with that, people are looking at the next wave. I heard Mr. Beast supposed to come out with a token. Elon Musk finna come out with a token. So when you see these tokens, be cautious because, you guys need to track where these tokens are being created and really dig into these tokens and trace the transaction history. But a lot of people are not going to do that legwork. So, like I said, if you're going to invest, make sure you understand that you may lose it all because once it's on Solana, two is a meme coin. And unless you big bank hanking and you just got money to blow, I mean, y'all can donate it to the, Ledger Lounge podcast, you know what I'm saying, for a sponsorship. But at the end of the day, just trade with caution, man. We're going to see what this coin look like next month for sure. And see how it's trading, because we could be wrong. Hell, I could be wrong, and I'm fine with that. But the way this looking, man, I wouldn't. Like I said, I put $4 in it. That's as good as I'm gonna go.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like you said on one of the previous podcasts, man. A lot of people being sucked into the market by these meme coins and becoming extra liquidity for people that are in the know and have a overstanding of crypto in general to put it into coins and tokens with utility. And that's why I just stopped messing with a whole bunch of meme coins. Like you said, if you got a little gas money to throw in there or whatever, like, that's cool, but don't be taking your check or significant money that you need to actually live off of and put it in these meme coins, because a lot of people just became exit liquidity literally in the last 3 hours.
Facts.
Crazy.
Yeah, I mean, really, this is the most that I actually have thought about the token. Honestly, like right now, this is the most that I really thought about it. Um, if I'm sitting here really thinking about how I think it's gonna actually impact the market, past what I already said, especially hearing what Charles just said about like other celebrities and people creating their own token. I think basically that crypto is going to turn into a way to invest into people, right? Like it's going to be a thing, and this token could be the start of that, the start of this 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 like era or segment of crypto where everybody creates a token. It's kind of like almost an extension of what Web3 is supposed to be, because that's what Web3 is supposed to be. Web3 is supposed to be basically you get paid off of your platform, no matter what platform you're on. That's like the full utilization of Web3 platforms. So, if Trump's token goes good, people make money, everybody holds it, turns into a long term thing, and other people, high profile, start making tokens as well, and those are all solid projects, then we're going to quickly start to see a lot of people do that. A lot of people that are high profile making cryptos, making tokens. And it's just going to, they're not necessarily going to be a way to quote unquote like have tokens that are utility, but it's going to be like a way to invest in something you believe in, right? Like kind of like that. So it'd be interesting. But just like everybody says, man, and the most important thing I think out of all of this is, like Charles said, like if you're new to trading, if you're new to investing, this is probably your first taste of real FOMO. Um, right. This is probably your first taste of that, of feeling like you missed out on something. And when you get that first hit of FOMO, you're like, man, I gotta get in. I gotta get in. Like you feel like you missed.
Crazy.
But what you really gotta do is like you just really gotta understand the fact of like whatever your original plan was, no matter how you might feel about boom, 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 like you got to stick to your original plan. You got to stick to what you know is going to work. Because if you embrace that feeling of FOMO, you go into this token and it doesn't do what you want it to do, then not only have you've gone away from your original plan that you know was going to work, so that's going to destroy your confidence. You're going to lose money that you could have had investing in something safe. It's just it's just kind of a tough thing to recover from. So even if the money you might be seeing isn't going to be as crazy as some of the money you might hear other people talking about, that's cool and all, but until that person actually cashes out the money they made on that Trump token, they ain't really made any money. And a token like that, the only thing is, like, it's cool to hold it, but as Charles just showed you, and as we just looked at that chart, when those type of tokens drop, they drop, and it's very hard to sell tokens like that on an exchange while they're selling. Like your orders might miss, they might not get filled. If your order doesn't get filled, you got to put in another order. Now the price dropped another 20%. So it just turns into a very, very slippery slope. So definitely, like take that FOMO and stick to your plan. Be careful, throw a little money into it, but still keep your original tokens that have utility, that are good projects. Keep investing into those. That way, when those tokens run up, instead of being the person who gets the FOMO, you're gonna have people coming to you with their FOMO because you done invested in solid projects, and now everybody's like, oh, like, what do you know about this token? You're like, man, yeah, I've been holding this token for a year now, right? Like, and that's that's where you want to be. You want to be on that end of FOMO because you held something long term that was a good product with solid people that had good utility.
Definitely.
Could have said it any better, man. Bruh, because, yesterday was crazy. My phone was blowing up about this stuff. And I'm like, one, I kind of have an inkling when something's like, all right, this might be worth something. But with this, the way it was released, the way it was hush hush low key, the way that he got 80% of the supply, I'm like, bro, this is not DeFi. This is not crypto. This is, like you said earlier, this is more centralized, which defeats the whole purpose. You were supposed to, at least if you got the supply, I'm gonna burn 30% of the supply. I ain't gonna keep it. I'm gonna burn it, or I'm going to release the tokens and then renounce my ownership to it and let the community take over. Nah, you said nah. What that? I'm gonna hold it.
Man, I could just imagine them at the crypto ball, and Trump is like, "Watch this," and he drops the token, and everybody that was in the know, man, they wallets just skyrocketed, and like
right,
on some
printing money
crazy
out of
stuff,
thin
like,
air.
yeah.
So it's crazy.
Yeah,
But the
man.
thing about it is Binance and Coinbase finna list it. And Crypto.com finna list it. So that's
Yeah,
more
I seen
exit
Robin Hood
liquidity.
possibly listening too. Yeah,
Right. That's too quick.
yeah.
It's like he's paid money to skip ahead in the line. That for
Nah, for
me
real.
personally is a red flag. Because it's supposed to be a
it's Trump.
even, but still, it like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's supposed to be a even playing field for everybody. And now they're coming in with the same principles that what created crypto in the first place. I mean, they're already doing that with Bitcoin because of them, owning the supply in all these other countries and other stuff like that. So I give it. That's a given. But like, now you're taking over the memes, and like Brandon said, more of these celebrities and public figures are going to be coming out with tokens. So we're finna do the cult tokens. This is finna be the cult memes where I invested in the Tom Cruise coin, you know what I'm saying? He got some thing going on. Well, yeah, I'm gonna give you access to one of my signed scripts or something, and you get NFTs, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna start seeing that because now people are not caring for celebrities and they gotta try to get that power back to stay relevant.
So that's, and honestly though, but so the thing is, man, it's so as much as like it's not really crypto, man, like if it does turn into, it could, if he starts doing stuff like what you just mentioned, then that would be the utility of the token. Like 100%, because that's, so like when I think back to like some NFTs that I bought, and I never got crazy in the whole NFT craze, but I think I bought like two different NFTs.
Yeah.
One NFT that I bought, basically it gave me access to, if I went to this if I went to this golf course and showed them that I was an owner of this NFT, it gave me access to a lounge area. In a state, it was in like a state that I was living in Maryland at the time. It was in a state that wasn't too far from me. I thought that was cool, and they had some other utility to the NFT. So the best case scenario with this, like that's the best case scenario. The best case scenario is if that token does turn into things like that, and because the reason why I say that's the best case scenario is because then we start to see real world integration of crypto, and that is what we do want. That this could very well be, if he starts doing that, like if that happens, that would open the door to mass adoption right there. That would literally be the thing that we've been waiting for, to have everybody be like, wow, I need to get into crypto, because if I pick up Mr. Beast's coin, then I can watch his YouTube video early. If I pick up this token, I can do this early. So hopefully, man, like that's what happens, and hopefully it's not just a typical meme coin. Like I would love for that to happen, because I would love for mass adoption to happen.
Right.
And this is probably, and that would be like the thing to like make mass adoption really happen.
Of course, for sure. Yeah, I mean, we're definitely going to get to that point. I just think right now they're kind of trying to find their line in the sand. I know they tried it a few years back with the NFTs, with that, giving people access to certain things. So the foundation aspect of it is definitely in place. I just know that this market is going to get flooded and it's going to get so saturated that only the strongest gonna survive. However, I do think with this cycle, because I'm already preparing for the bear market. Like I'm already setting my eyes on what I want to buy when these people get caught up. And I think because of the rapid adoption of meme coins, because meme coins been around for a while, but the narrative around meme coins in this rapid succession that it's been in is unprecedented. So it's like understanding too much of something is a bad thing, you know what I'm saying? And I'm very optimistic, you know what I'm saying? But I can also understand and not be naive to see the writing on the wall, like, hey, if it's too good to be true, it's something wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Ain't
So,
no way you saying that, brother.
right. So if I'm saying it, the guy who thinks our XRP going to 10K, and I'm saying about this, yeah, bro. Like, and I've been in the game since 2016. Like, so you know what I'm saying. I see the end goal, but I do believe that we're going to have some hiccups, and I do think that they're going to use this meme coin to one, and this might be considered a conspiracy theory, but we're going to come back to this video. I think they're going to be able to sweep our debt with this somehow. I think they might create a token out their ass to say this is the national debt for the United States. You buy it up. They add some type of utility to it, and they have something happen where it gets hacked or something, so they can wipe it off the books. Like, and like I said, I could be wrong, but it plays too much to we got $34 trillion in debt that we know ain't nobody trying to pay. How can we get rid of this? Because they already talking about the Bitcoin reserve. Well, you know that's only going so far. And it's only a small percentage of the population that's actually in this crypto space. So if people FOMOing into a Trump coin now, I can only imagine if everybody was into it, like people are aware of stocks. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody's into stocks, but a good percentage of the world are invested in stocks. So when you apply that same volume to crypto, it's gonna be a shit show, bro. And it's gonna shake out a lot of people, because I think what eventually we're gonna get to by 20 is that's when we're gonna get a stable market, and we're not gonna be seeing these 75, 85 percent drawdowns. It's gonna be more around maybe 30, maybe 25 at best, because the institutions and the big wigs are not in the, like you said a couple episodes ago, they're not in the business of losing money. And as long as they can make money and print money, they gonna pump it. It's American greed. It's the American dream.
Nah, for sure. I do have this article that I want to share, man, about Coinbase launching where people can borrow 100 up to $100,000 in USDC. You know, I know Charles been talking about this for a while now. Now just coming to the main stage. So I'm gonna just read a little bit, right? Coinbase, in partnership with Morpho Labs, has launched a Bitcoin-backed loan service allowing users or US users to borrow up to $100,000 in USDC using their Bitcoin as collateral. The service available to all US residents except those in New York. It operates on the Coinbase Ethereum Layer 2 network. This right here, to me, is just pushing more mainstream adoption, because if people, especially people who are already Bitcoin millionaires, Bitcoin billionaires, or whatever the case may be, they could just go borrow against their Bitcoin and buy more assets, buy more crypto. It's just gonna push the market more to the upside, man. And
Crazy thing about that, bro, is like I'm sitting here thinking. So, number one, I'm thanking God I invested in Coinbase stock, brother. But
yes, sir.
but bro, like the thing with that is, think about it. That means that you would have. So the thing that's going to be a peripheral of that is going to be Coinbase being the there's a word that's slipping my mind, but it's like overseeing, or the custodian. Coinbase is going to now be the custodian for so much more Bitcoin because of that product right there, bro. because to probably take out the loan, you have to block the Bitcoin in some sort of custodial account with Coinbase. They won't just let you keep it offline, off market. So that is going to basically have Coinbase's Bitcoin reserves skyrocket, bro, through the roof. The amount of Bitcoin that they're going to be able to list as assets that they hold, because that's how banks, that's how like banks work, right? Banks work by your whatever money you deposit in a bank. That's technically the bank's asset. That's why the bank is able to, give loan your money out, make money from your money. So that's literally all Coinbase is getting ready to do, bro. So that is that's actually insane. Um, yeah, that's hey man. All I
Right.
know is Coinbase.
Yeah,
Coinbase
you
doing
looking.
exactly what I want to see Coinbase doing, bro. They doing what I want them to do right now.
Yeah, you see right
And I
now Coinbase
understand that.
sitting at 295, and year to date is up 13 to 15%. So man, that's the average yearly stock market returns about 10%. So hey, if we looking at stocks, man, Coinbase, that's one of them ones like
For
Brandon was
sure.
saying.
Boy, I got it. It's go- my average price on Coinbase 81, bro.
Oh, you good.
Oh yeah, man.
Joint
Let's eat.
You
81,
good.
bro. That's crazy.
Right, right. I would say about this here, just be cautious because one, Coinbase will lock you out your account. They will close your account. They
For
just
sure.
closed my account and I had that bitch since
Facts.
2019. And they saying because of it FinCEN regs and some other bullshit, they had to close my account. So I went and tried to I had the same issue you had, Brandon, trying to get in touch with somebody. I got on Twitter. Hey, Coinbase support, what's going on, bro? Like I had this account for 6 years now, and y'all gonna close my account? So it's ironic they close it as soon as they say, "Oh, well, you can take loans out." But this is the caveat with it because it goes back to your point with them basically taking on the same projects and products as the bank. When you trade Bitcoin on Coinbase when it's lending or anything, or you send it to DeFi space, there's going to be CB and it's going to be lowercase, then BTC, which is Coinbase Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So basically, all they're giving you is an IOU, and they're going to take your real Bitcoin, give you an artificial Bitcoin that's going to be backed by their reserve while they go and loan yours out, make more money on it. And I think what's going to happen is they're going to get greedy and they're not going to be able to pay up, more similar how FTX did, but in a whole different, bracket with the DeFi part because they're trying to bridge that gap. So if you do take out a loan, I personally suggest that you go the DeFi route with Aave because from there they don't do no checks. If your money in there, you lend it out, you earn fees the traditional way, and then you can borrow against your assets. They can't say, "Oh, we're going to lock you out your account," because it's tied to your DeFi wallet, which no one controls but you. So if you're going to borrow, I suggest still keep it in the DeFi range. But if you're one of those people who have a lot of money, then you can afford to go and borrow with Coinbase. I just say be cautious because they're basically giving you an IOU. And right now you can trade back and forth between the two. But who's to say that the site might not go down and say Bitcoin is not crashing, but Bitcoin is coming down, and you're trying to basically pay it off if you take a loan, and then you end up liquidated because you can't convert that over, or their website is down, which they're notorious for. You're asked out.
For
So
sure.
just be cautious with that because the whole purpose of DeFi and crypto is not to be centralized, it's to be decentralized. And Coinbase sees that as a need because people don't want to do the legwork. Everybody's not going to be a big B, they want to be a worker bee, and that's perfectly fine. But for those who are actually trying to have financial freedom for real, learn how to do this stuff on the back end in the space that it was designed for. Because if you can control your own money, you don't have to worry about somebody snatching it up. The people from Capital One probably just got their deposits. So think of that being locked out of your account. Like those people from Capital One are not getting your direct deposit when it comes to your crypto, and you got thousands of dollars in there and you can't sell anything because Coinbase can't either the website down or they can't basically match your 1-for-1. It goes back to your Bitfinex hack. You can't match my 1-for-1. Where the money at?
Yeah, and
It's in a wallet on on an island somewhere.
Right.
Crazy.
and basically, just to give you guys another example of basically what Charles is talking about. So, I don't know if you guys were kind of familiar with what was going on with GME. So GameStop. So Roy and Kitty GameStop and a lot of traders who are having issues on Robinhood. Right. So there's a lot of traders who I don't even remember the date it was, but if you just look up basically when GameStop was running up, anytime these sort of apps get a high level of traffic, that's where you start experiencing issues with their servers. Now, that is something that you can't have an issue with when you're dealing with DeFi. That doesn't happen, just period, point blank, right? So basically, the thing is, like with Coinbase, it's a centralized application that has servers that run their servers. And if the servers can only handle a certain amount of traffic. So the issue for you might be where maybe we have a crazy event, Bitcoin sliding 50-60%, and you're wanting to go in your account and maybe can't cash out your loan or something like that. Because everybody who is on Coinbase and has a loan is trying to do that at the same time as you, the application is not going to work properly because the server is not intended to have that much traffic. So it's the same psychological concept as like Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness isn't designed to have everybody who owns a Planet Fitness membership work out at their gym every single day all the time. Otherwise, they would not have enough equipment to do that. They don't have enough equipment for all of their members. Coinbase does not have enough server space for all of the people who are signed up and go in their account all the time. So when a big event happens, their servers mess up. If you use DeFi like Charles is suggesting, that doesn't happen because it's decentralized. There's not one server room that one company owns that runs all the servers that you need to count on to run properly. At any time, using DeFi, if you want to cancel your loan, add more, change the terms, blah, 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 you can go in and do that and not experience any of the potential problems that you could experience when you're using Coinbase.
Right. It's like you said, it's like really what it is like a whole bunch of congestion within the network. With DeFi, it could be somebody running a node or somewhere in their backyard, and it's bounced from a whole lot of different servers, a whole lot of different computers, and it actually doesn't have that congestion. So yeah, facts.
Speaking of DeFi, brother, let's see them LPs, my guy.
I got you. So, man, I've been learning a lot in this space. When the market is going up, profits look nice. When the market is going down, profits are still looking nice. Let me share my screen here. Here. Come on. There we go. All right, so right now we basically took a hit. Like I said, I started off with $50. I got as high as $250, but that was due to the virtual token basically being about $5 a few weeks ago, and the market has corrected a lot. And I want to say that how much virtual lives now? Let me see.
Do they have something that says your lifetime? Do they have a tab that shows your lifetime rewards on here or your total time rewards? I know it says daily and earn, but what's your
No,
total?
it don't show my total. So that's where I was gonna go to my next tab. I done
Okay.
moved all my profits over to Aave, which I'm gonna go to in a few minutes. But basically, I never took any amount of this out. So when it goes back up, it's going to go back up to about the 250 plus. But my main concern was the earning part. Um, I've earned $3.85 just in this one scenario because I just pulled the other day. But the daily rewards is always changing and fluctuating, but the APR has been staying the same. And I've been trying to stay in range to play with this market. As you see, it's been getting in and out of range. But let me see if I. But so far, most of this is me refunneling those profits back into Aave, either in ETH or the Coinbase BTC, and mainly the ETH because it's one is gas fees, but also two, it's a nice little return on it, and these two are going to appreciate a lot faster than if I was going to just put it in USDC and earn. Just for the borrow, I think for to
So that 167 that's in that top left up there, that's how much you've made on the LP total?
no, this is
What?
it's $232.80.
So that's how much you've made from the LP, just from profits from the liquidity pool.
Yeah, and then I borrowed $65.
And that 232 is not including your initial investment.
No, so
So so let's just run through that real quick. So your initial investment was how much?
$50.
Okay, so $50 initial investment, and how long has it been since you invested that $50 into liquidity pools?
It was December 17th, so it just made a full month a few days ago.
All right, so just so y'all know, just so we could break down what he just said, he invested $50 in liquidity pools. That's it. He's made $232 from that $50 in the span of a month. And when we say $232, you don't even want to think about that $232 in terms of that numerical value. You want to think about that $232 in terms of the coins that he's earned. Because that 232, when the market starts going up, can quickly shoot past 232. Because he's not earning that money in USDC, he's earning that money in the tokens that he's investing in the liquidity pool. Okay,
Yeah, it's crazy.
I'm tripping, bro. I don't work tomorrow, but I need to do this tomorrow. This top priority. I need to do this tomorrow. That's crazy, bro.
I got you. The only caveat, like I said, is when you put these back into these two, because we know it's going to be appreciating for sure, you borrow USDC and your return, I mean, right now you're charging 11% to borrow, but my returns, like I said, right now I'm making it just changed from $6 to $3, but the more you put in here, the more you're earning. So it's people who have, like, my goal is to get to at least 5,000 into this particular pool, right? And I'm taking all my rewards and turning them into ETH, and I'm going to deposit it back into Aave, so it's appreciating. So if this goes up or down, it's either going to go into the virtual token, which is going to eventually appreciate, or it's going to be converted back over into Wrap ETH, which is going to also appreciate. So either way it goes, it's going to be a win-win. So right now it's showing 137.09, but when virtual was about $5, this was about $251. I haven't removed anything from here. I played around with some other pools, but that was just from other profits that I made on other tokens. But I've kept the same amount of tokens in this. I have never left this pool since I first started. And it's just been going up and down. Because right now the prices is going down. But as soon as it goes back up, this 137 is going to go to 250. And then if it keeps going back up, it can surpass that, obviously.
And then also, just to throw this in, for anybody that does watch and does do these, the best time to get into like a liquidity pool would be, especially on these sort of things, is like, when I say now, what I mean by that is the more money that's in a liquidity pool, the smaller the returns are for everybody, right? That's basically how that works. But now the thing is, with the tokens that he's using, they're not necessarily tokens that I don't really think people are looking to put in a liquidity pool. Right? So it's definitely, I think you definitely found like a honey hole within like liquidity pools, because and that's really what's the difference between just doing LPs regularly, like being successful at it and being unsuccessful. Because like I know when I talked to my cousin a little bit more about LPs, and he was saying like they were having to kind of jump from one pool to another to try to maintain that high tier of returns on their
Right.
money. So like for you though, are you having to change pools, or are you kind of staying within the same pools that you've initially started with?
Bro, these are my only favorite pools. And I've tried the DGen ones. They give you their tokens, so if you think that's gonna go up, then I mean, yeah. But this virtual wrap ETH has been my bread and butter. It has been printing off on average about $3 to $6 daily.
It's wrapped. It's ETH. It's wrapped with what's the other? What's the other
Virtual,
token in the
virtual
pool? Oh,
protocol. That's
is
the
that
AI creator
Sui AI?
token.
When you say virtual protocol, that's Sui AI or no?
No. That's not
That's
Sui.
on.
This
Is
is
that on Ethereum?
yeah. That's on the actually,
Okay.
it's on Base. It's not on Ethereum. It's on Base.
Okay. And
So
that
virtual protocol is what kicks off is the AI creator on the base network. So with Coinbase making these moves, their meme tokens and their AI tokens are going to take off because virtual protocol is the central hub of where they're created at. They're the lab of where it's created at. So when the market is pumping, the virtual token is going to increase in price. So my liquidity pool that I'm in is going to, when people are starting to sell off their wrap ETH for virtual, I'm earning fees on top of that, and then I'm also appreciating into the token regardless
yeah. So
because people are selling into it.
and that APR. So that APR has that. How has that APR changed since you initially joined, or is that still the same number for
No,
that?
so it definitely changes. That's
What
the
did
thing about it. It
what did
changes. Mhm.
what did it start? Because it's at 2,500 now percent. What did it start out at? Do you remember how high it was when you started?
Let me go to my Discord because I've been basically journaling and putting it in there. Give me a second.
Man, Jay,
Yo.
what we doing, bro?
I
Hey
try to
man.
tell you. I
We
even
finna,
made
we
a
finna
little
get into
video
these
for you.
LPs, bro. Gots to.
Um,
I'm sick, bro.
I was at APR was 1,134%.
So it went up. Oh, okay,
Yeah, and but this is the thing about it.
it changes.
It changes all the time, but that's why we focus on the daily reward part. The first goal is to make at least over $3 a day, and you multiply that in the weekly time frame. That's $35, which is not bad. From a monthly, like that's more than what I got deposited right now. So
Facts.
when you look at that, and then you go to a yearly, that's $1,800, and that's with the market being low right now. All I gotta do is manage this for a year. I'm gonna end up at least with 1,800, if not more.
And that's the
And I
thing
check.
from the 50
Uh-huh.
to the 150. That's 300%.
Right, and I'm just collecting fees because people are going to
1
trade
month.
regardless. Right, and this is going to fluctuate. So it's going to fluctuate for the most part. Our goal, like it just changed to 1,600, but it's pretty consistent. Like I said, I want to make sure that I'm earning at least $3 a day. And long as I'm within range, I'm going to get that $3. And I check it maybe twice a week. I check it on Wednesdays to see if I'm in range, and then I don't touch it. If I'm out of range, like this right here is red, I'm out of range right now. That's what that looks like. But I'm not going to touch this because I know that it's going to go back up in here. So I don't touch it so I don't have impermanent loss. I just let it do its thing. So I normally wait 24 to 48 hours. and I check the markets to see if it's going to dip anymore. Do I need to make an adjustment, or is it going to balance itself back out, or just leave it alone? Am I, stop earning fees on that one? Yeah, for right now, but that's why I have this one here. This is my money printer. This one is my slow gains. That's why I only got $14 in this here. But once you start getting into the $1,000 range, if you're making anything over 10%, you're winning. That's the thing about it. Anything over 10% is a winner. And what you want to focus on is how much the total loan of value and the weekly rewards. How much money they giving out to people a week to participate in these pools. Now, the APR might be lower in the Wrap ETH USDC, but they're giving out $1.3 million in rewards on a weekly basis. I need some of that.
Facts.
So my goal with this right now, especially with trading these meme coins, is to pivot into Wrap ETH and Bitcoin so I can go back to Aave, deposit here so I can earn 1.5 interest rate here and 0.73, which we know these are appreciating regardless. So it's going to pan itself out and it's going to work itself out. So I'm still earning and I don't have to sell it. And I'm going to borrow USDC because $1 is going to be worth $1. I'm going to funnel it here into one of these pools and then I'm going to collect the money. And the cool thing about this, because I use the arrow, when you do harvest, you can choose what tokens you want, Right now I got RSI, but if you do arrow, you won't get charged any fees, the conversion fee. You just pulling it from here. And typically I do this now and I convert it over into ETH or Bitcoin. Or you can keep Arrow if you believe in that project. And Arrow is just going to appreciate. So this is another way of you saying you don't want to do ETH or Bitcoin. You want to say the Brett token. You believe the Brett token is going to do something. You can get your profit in Brett without going out the way to break bread on it. And you're just scaling it with the more money that you have. So my goal is to get at least $5,000 into these liquidity pools so I can really make numbers, man, because what I'm looking at and what got me into it, man, these guys got like $100,000, into this, and they're making like 17 grand a month.
Crazy numbers.
Right. And I'm gonna ride this wave until they put something in, in place where it's not. But liquidity pool's been around since crypto started. It's not going nowhere. This just makes it a lot easier to manage your positions. That's why I was telling you, Brandon, I understand what your cousin was saying, but the market has changed since then. Because if I was going the traditional sense without using this aggregator, then yes, I would put my own money in here and end up losing my money every time I rebalance. But because I'm sitting here borrowing against this and I'm only putting the dollars, USDC in this, I'm not losing no money as long as I'm still earning fees. You see, it just went down to $1.91 right now. So it fluctuates, but it's still earning. That's all I'm worrying about. So, yeah, that's my TED Talk. But I also use just a little tip just to see where things are going. What I typically do is I copy the pool address and I go over here to Deck Screener. Because before I even make a position or set my ranges, I come over here. I already got it added to my watch list. I think I got this chart marked up somewhere. Yeah. And select my ranges. So I start with the daily and kind of find my ranges beforehand. I ain't marked it up in a while, but I'm able to eyeball it now. But I always change it to Wrap ETH so I can see, because it's going to match the same. Yeah. It's fundamental, man. I seen this happen. I was like, all right, this is finna kick back up. I set my ranges, earn my fees. All right, this turn into the downside. I'm touching the 50 EMA, so I'm going to see if it's going to bounce off of this or come back down here. But for the most part, I'm expecting it to go back up to the upside. so I can set my ranges. So if it does start climbing back up into here, I'm covered because I just set my ranges wide. And the narrow your range is, the more fees you'll earn, but you'll get out of range fast and you have to rebalance a lot. And that causes you impermanent loss because you're going from one token to the next token. And sometimes if they're not correlated, you end up losing money. So I set my ranges wide so it can just basically run itself. So I don't have to do much work. So I'll take 1,000% versus, oh, well, man, if I keep it narrow, I'm earning 8,000%. But I have to watch it every day and basically rebalance it probably every couple minutes just to make sure, because the market moves so fast. So it's different strategies on how to do it. Me, like I said, I don't like sitting at the computer all day, so I keep my ranges wide and I pick a range based off of here on Deck Screener. So right now I got it from here to about to up in here. So either way it go, I'm earning fees. And then if it shoots past here, then I set my new ranges. And that's basically it. I can't hear you.
You're on mute, my brother.
Bro, I work. I literally sit at a computer. And look, we'll see. I don't. All I know is I am gonna take some time Monday, because I haven't even watched the video you dropped yet, bro. I've been slacking super heavily, but I need to take some time. Like, that's gonna be my top priority on Monday, is to watch the video, get it set up, because honestly, man, like I'm just letting money go at this point. At this point, I'm just letting money go between my fingertips. So. I can't be on here talking about I can't be on here talking about nothing. If you just show some sauce to invest $50 and get back $250 in a month, and I don't do that, I can't be talking about I can't be talking about nothing, bro.
And see, this is a long-term play because, like I said, I'm not trying. One of the mistakes I made with the last bull run is learning from my mistakes is not understanding what it means when the Feds pull liquidity out of the market and everything's tanking and you trying to panic sell or see if you're going to hold on to something. And this is a nice way to pivot while still keeping your bull run bags, but also making money on people selling. And then you go and buy the same tokens, the same blue chips for pennies on the dollar. And basically what you borrow in your loan of value is also going to decrease, but that's a whole nother topic when you get to that. When you borrow and the loan of value switches, and as long as you keep it within 40%, you're not going to face liquidation. It's what the big institutions have been doing for years, that you had to be an accredited investor to get access to. That's why I'm an advocate for DeFi.
Yeah. Well, I know I got a
Told you I'm getting my yacht.
Hey, man.
Man, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. You definitely, that's big money right there. That's big money talk. Honestly, like no cap. Like right there, DeFi, liquidity pools. That's big money talk. So I've been looking for something that I can do to get some passive income coming in, and that's 100% it, right? Like I can't. So, anyways, it's definitely like, yeah, I'm on that page with you, bro, and I'm gonna watch that video on Monday, and I'm gonna like see what I can do to get a little. No matter how much money it is, I just need to get some money in, so I can start messing around.
And it's so easy to scale into. I mean, that's why it's like I'm gonna slowly scale into it. Right now, like I said, my goal is to get $5,000 into that. I can only imagine how much daily I'm gonna be making from just 5,000 in there. And this works whether the market is pumping. It works if you're in a bull market. It works even better when we're consolidating, because there's a lot of trade action and the ranges are a lot consistent. It's a win-win. And I'm not panic selling. I'm not trying to rip my hair out because, man, where I'm gonna get my money from? I gotta sell my Bitcoin to pay my rent. No, I'm gonna go put this stuff up. I'm gonna borrow against this, put in a liquidity pool, let this earn me some fees, and I'm gonna go pay my rent.
Facts.
Work smarter, not harder, man.
So I know, like on the last episode, we were kind of going through some of our picks and whatnot. And I've recently started, so I've recently kind of hit my number of tokens that I wanted to have for Telcoin. Well, right under my number of tokens that I wanted to have. Appreciate it, brother. So yeah, we're diversifying. So now I'm moving into my next coin that I'm trying to build my bag up in, and that's Vechain. So I started making some Vechain purchases. And I was just looking into, and really the reason why I kind of made that transition, the CEO of Vechain, or the creator, whatever you want to call it, he just recently made a video overviewing the roadmap of 2025, right?
Yeah.
And honestly, I really like that because, and I'm gonna go through some of the things he talked about, but a lot of times with them really old tokens like VeChain, you don't really see the creators or the CEOs, whatever. You don't really see them still doing that, right? Like honestly, you just really don't. Like they're kind of just there doing their own thing. They're not really pushing their they're not really pushing their marketing like that, because they've been in the game for so long or whatever. But anyway, so I like that they did that. So there's three key points that they talked about that they were going to do in his video. So one of them is they're creating V World, which is a self custody wallet. I can kind of dive into that a little deeper, what it means, why it's important. The next thing they're going to do is they're creating V Better DAO. So they're going to be making their community decisions based off of DAO. I can kind of go into what that actually means and why that's important too. And then the third thing they're going to be doing is they're just going to be upgrading their blockchain infrastructure, to basically allow it to allow people to come from Ethereum over to their network. And that's also a pretty big thing too. So basically, with the wallet, why that's important. You guys already know why having the wallet is important. We've talked about why having the self-custody wallet is important. The thing that's interesting about their wallet is they do also allow you to connect a hard wallet to their wallet as well. Their self-custody wallet also will track your transactions for you. So sometimes some wallets may not have that. You might have to track your transactions yourself. Their wallet already has it built into where it could track your transactions for you. So user friendly. Has that ledger integration, which is being able to connect your your cold based wallet or cold storage to their wallet. And also you can access it on a mobile browser, on a web browser like a desktop computer, but also a mobile app. So having that too, to be able to access it on a mobile app, because a lot of times when you start messing with some of these wallets and sites and stuff, it's mostly only designed for desktop or mobile. It's kind of hard to find one that's designed for both. So that itself was pretty cool. Honestly, my personal favorite and the thing I think that's going to have the biggest impact on VeChain's pricing community is the DAO. Right? Like that's huge. So basically a DAO it just stands for Decentralized Autonomous Organizations. And what a DAO essentially really means is instead of one person making the decisions, or instead of like the group of board members making the decisions, they now leave those decisions up to the community and token holders to make those decisions. So would do something like put a poll up, and everybody who is a token holder of VeChain or participating in their network will get a vote. And whatever is the highest vote by the community is the feature that they'll integrate into the application. So really, that just goes to show how much they believe in their community, and they have a really strong community. So to implement a DAO, I think right now with all the money that's coming in, it's bullish to me. It's bullish to me. I really like it. And it just shows that they believe in the community, and they're willing to leave some of the improvements and evolution of the network Vechain itself up to those community members. Also, it adds that increased layer of transparency, so we know what's going on. We can see what's going on. We can see everything because all of those votes, all of that stuff, it's all on the blockchain. So you can see everything that happens within a DAO. So basically, instead of like people making decisions behind closed doors, it's your community making decisions about what you guys all own. So that's really strong for Vechain. And then the last thing is just like that infrastructure overhaul that I kind of mentioned, just with their network, with their network being compatible to Ethereum's ecosystem. Right, that's just good because everybody knows the struggles with Ethereum's network, right? Um, Making their network compatible with Ethereum's network, if developers do start offboarding from Ethereum, because of gas fees, because of those sort of things, VeChain is now an option for them to off-chain off of. And then with them also doing the self wallet and the DAO, you could see people see things like that and be like, oh, like VeChain is a good option for us to maybe leave Ethereum from and go to them because they have this and they have this. So it's just it just seemed like a very strategic and thought out plan to me for what they're doing this year. And if you look at where the coin's priced at now to its all-time high, it's still a 10x. So that is 100% the coin that I'm currently like focused on building my backup in. So like every couple of weeks, I'm just gonna be buying. Every couple of weeks, I'm just gonna be buying some VeChain. So yeah, that's what I was just watching that video and kind of breaking it down and looking at VeChain. But that's why I like VeChain. That's why that's like my next pick on what I'm gonna be investing in.
Yeah,
Cool.
VeChain definitely got a lot of utility, like I said, with that supply chain. Just when I first heard about VeChain a few years back, man, like the fact that you can scan the QR code and know where stuff was manufactured, what product was used to do that, and like I said, when they partnered with Mercedes, I was like, okay, it's a go, it's a given. So I'm kind of glad that it's still under the radar because it did take a beating from the last market, but it stood the test of time. So I'm also in that same boat as you with rotating a lot of my meme coin profits into VeChain. VeChain is in my top 10 long term never sell, especially at these prices. Like,
Yes, sir. The thing I had, man, I want to kind of go a different way. Still talking about crypto, but it's kind of like correlating crypto to stocks. So what I did was, I used ChatGPT and I kind of asked it what were some companies that were in the seed round for Ripple, right? So it came over to a bunch of different companies, but one that stood out to me was Seagate Technologies. And I'm reading it here. It says Seagate is a company that designs, manufactures, and sells data, storage devices, and software. They specialize in hard drives and solid state drives.
Oh, I had one of their products before.
Yeah. So another thing, and yeah, they've been around for a
oh,
while.
I had that.
Seagate,
Yeah, Seagate.
SEA,
Yeah, they make the
GH.
they
Oh,
make the HD
yeah.
disc and all that. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm looking at their stock right now. I'm sitting at $97.67. Matter of fact, let me just share this with y'all real quick. Sitting at $97.67. Year to date is up 13%. So that's more than the average stock market return, which is about 8 to 10%. And if we just look at overall, good thing to notice when you're looking at anything to invest in is the chart going up and to the right. So we've been going up and to the right since inception, which is look like they came out in 2002. So that'd just be a good thing for people to do. Look at these companies that actually invested into these crypto companies, and those could be possibly good investments. As we can see in the last, like I said, in the last year or year to date, it's up 13%. The last year is up 14%. So I would just tell people, with these blue chip cryptos, look into the companies that actually invested into them, and then if you want to go use that as a stock play, you can. So
For sure.
Yeah, no, that's solid. I didn't even think about something to look into something like that. But I'm probably gonna end up looking into some other companies like you just did. That's a good
yeah,
idea.
I'm gonna do a little bit more research on like my top holdings when it comes to crypto to see what companies on the stock market have invested into them, and obviously like well it's not gonna be obvious, but you just do your research and you can kind of see some of these top cryptos or some best performing stocks on the stock market.
Sure. And then we on the stock market, like basically for me, in terms of stocks, like I've kind of been targeting. So, um, physical. Basically, the Nvidia CEO was just kind of talking about where AI is going to go from here, and he was mentioning like essentially the next area that AI goes to is physical AI. So, for example, when he says physical AI, what does he mean by that? He means like robots in your house that work off AI,
Yeah,
physical.
AGIX, artificial general intelligence.
Yeah, when and within a physical, but within like a physical something.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So like that. So boom. So he was saying that, and that was one of the reasons why I've been so heavy in Tesla. But then like some of the other companies that I know that are trying to get within that physical AI space, it's basically going to be Tesla, Alphabet, and Amazon. Those are all three companies that are right now investing heavily in self-driving vehicles. So Tesla's trying to get their self-driving whatever robo taxi army up. Alphabet, which is Google's a parent company at Alphabet. Um, Alphabet owns Waymo. Waymo is currently actively running self-driving vehicles in different areas, mostly
Especially
tech
Arizona.
places, Arizona, California, Seattle. I'm pretty sure I saw Waymo when I was in Vegas. Don't quote me on that though. And then
In
Amazon
Texas.
and then Amazon is running self-driving vehicles with Zooks. So they weren't really running Zooks for a while, but I know like trying to ramp back up on Zooks. So those are three companies. Those are the biggest three companies that I would say that I know of in terms of physical AI that I can think of to invest in. That I've started lining some additional money up. Me personally, I've been putting most of my investments right now into Alphabet and um, Amazon. I mean, for me, I've built up a decent bag of Tesla, so I'm not really looking to add more Tesla. And also, I don't really personally like where Tesla's at on its chart, just for me, because of where I've started investing. I think, and those other two companies as well, Alphabet and Amazon, are just more consistent than Tesla. Tesla's a very volatile stock. Alphabet and Amazon are not volatile stocks. So those are two places where I've been looking to invest. The other place, actually, I just happened to think about it by circumstance. I was looking at which hotel chain. I think I was looking at Hilton. I think I was looking at the price of like Hilton's the hotel company. I was looking at their stock, and I think Hilton was at like 300, 296 or something crazy. Let me pull it up real quick. Yeah, so Hilton's at 246. That's what Hilton stock is. They're at 246. So I went and just looked at the chart, looked at where they were at last year. They were at 185 last year. So it's like, well, let me try to find some smaller hotel companies besides Hilton that might have been where they were last year. So I ended up stumbling upon Hyatt. And I was looking at Hyatt stock and where they're currently at now. So Hyatt's currently at 155, and Hyatt stock, if you look at their chart, right, like this year was just kind of consolidating, didn't really move much except from right at the start of January to February. And then once you get into their 5 year chart, though, it's just literally what you want it to look like. It's just up and to the right. So after me looking at Hilton and seeing that Hilton went from 180 to 246, I'm looking at Hyatt at 155 right now. Their 5-year chart looks good. I'm thinking they could do the exact same thing in a year. And also, that's me diversifying. I've been trying to find areas to diversify out of technology. And you could call it hotels. I call it real estate. That's essentially what these companies, really worst case scenario, are. But whatever, we'll call it hotels. I don't know what the actual term is, but that's like a new area I'm kind of looking to diversify, to have some other stuff in my stock portfolio besides like tech companies. And I think Hyatt is in a really good spot for growth, just based off of what some of the bigger companies like Hilton's growth was over the last year.
You dropping some gems.
Good diversification, man.
Right, right.
Yes, sir.
Take us home, Jay.
Hey, man, you know what it is? The Legend Lounge podcast. Look, we be dropping gems. We be dropping jewels. Make sure you tune in next time, because, hey, we got more on the way.
Yes, sir.